As this Mariners roster slowly but surely comes together, there are still a few question marks left as to where some of the production is going to come in this lineup. But I think one of the players that Mariners fans and baseball fans as a whole really are underappreciating is the potential for Dominic Canzone in 2024. Now I know, you look at this team and you're like, who do you think can break out on this team? Dom Canzone. It's really the only answer, the only guy we haven't seen be here for a few years or just be in the majors for a few years. Dom Canzone's the easy answer, and we saw what he could do, like this.
Canzone, a towering fly ball. Dom Canzone, he ties it off the windows.
But it's not just that home run versus the Orioles that makes me think that Dominic Canzone is super underappreciated as a contributor in this Mariners offense, and I wouldn't be shocked to see him honestly be the starting right fielder by the end of 2024. Let's break down some of these numbers for Dom Canzone and really see what we're working with here. After being that big piece in the Paul Sewald trade there at the trade deadline in 2023, it was tough to see exactly where the value was coming in by trading your closer. And in 2023, it's not like Dominic Canzone lit the world on fire, but in his rookie season, he was okay, hitting 220, 258, 399 with an 81 OPS plus. He had 6 home runs and 21 RBI. Now again, Dom only played in 59 games between the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Seattle Mariners, but keep in mind he's just 26 years old and is with the Mariners through 2029. Another encouraging number here is his strikeout percentage in 2023. He had a 17.6% strikeout percentage, which is well below the league average of 22.7. His walk rate, although, is not very good at 4.4% compared to the league average of 8.6, and his home run percentage is right on par. Now there's one other thing on this advanced batting section that I want to talk about, but I'm actually going to save it until later on in this video. So I think it's very, very important as to looking at who Dominic Canzone can be in 2024 and beyond, but I want to wait a little bit to talk about it. Again, only 60 games for Dom Canzone in the major league, so we got to talk about his minor league numbers, where in 302 games, Dom Canzone hit 310, 377, 556 with a 933 OPS. He hit 60 home runs with 250 RBI, stole 41 bags and only 10 caught stealing. He also only struck out 223 times compared to 117 walks. That K percentage for Dom Canzone is pretty spot on with his minor league numbers, where in 2023 in the minors, he had a 13.2%. He did have a 20.3% in 2022, as well as in the Complex League, he did have a 33.3%, although he did not play in that many games there. Overall, looking at his career strikeout numbers, they're all well below the league average of like 23%. The hard part with Dom Canzone is just knowing whether you can have him in there versus left-handed pitching, and the splits kind of show you why. Again, limited plate appearances here, but in 2023 versus left-handed pitching, Dom Canzone hit 208 with 0 home runs, 4 runs, 1 RBI, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. In 55 games against right-handed pitching and 149 at-bats, he put together 6 home runs with a 221 average and 5 walks with 26 strikeouts. Now again, way more at-bats versus righties and lefties, and that's probably by design. But over his career, do we really know if he can't hit lefties? He did look very, very bad against some really nice left-handed like sliders or something like that. But maybe, just maybe, you can have Dom Canzone in there versus lefties. We'll just have to wait and see kind of how he progresses. A thing that I really like about Dom Canzone is just his sheer power. And it's not just power to the pull side. Dom Canzone can smash the ball all over the field and has really good opposite field power. Now the numbers here show that Dom Canzone really doesn't hit the ball the other way, but again, limited at-bats in the major leagues. As you can see from the videos on the screen now, Dom Canzone can smash the ball to left center and left field. This guy can hit the ball all over the ballpark, and I think that really goes to show by his spray chart. Looking at it here again, like I've been saying this whole time, limited plate appearances, but all these doubles here, what was this one? Hold on. What was this double that should have definitely been a home run? Oh, they were in Arizona and it hit off that high wall out there. That's tough. Yeah, that should have been a home run in like every ballpark. Nonetheless, you can see he has light tower power here to right field, but also left field. He's smashing doubles off the wall out here, especially when he came over to the Mariners as well. And his baseball savant numbers aren't that bad either. Again, not qualified for a lot because, like I've been saying, didn't play in a whole lot of games. But 17.6% strikeout percentage was pretty dang good in 2023. His barrel percentage was really high, and his expected slugging was really high. Everything else is kind of mid here, and obviously his fielding isn't that special. It's going to take a lot more for us to really know what we can get out of Dominic Canzone based on these numbers. But the important numbers I feel like are pretty good. The hard hit percentage is above average, the barrel percentage is high, the expected slugging is high, and the K percentage looks pretty good as well. Now, the important number that I want to point out here is Dominic Canzone's batting average on balls in play. In 2023, he had a 237 batting average on balls in play compared to the league average of 297. A lot of times that'll happen with guys who don't hit the ball very hard or fly out too much or something like that, but you can see by Dom Canzone's numbers, if you look at them compared to league average, they were all right around where they would be for the guys that had a 297 average in 2023. He was above average in exit velocity and hard hit percentage, a little low on the line drive percentage, and a little high on the fly ball percentage, but nonetheless, he was still hitting the ball a lot here, but not seeing the results. Dominic Canzone got pretty unlucky in 2023. So sure, you look at his like 220 batting average, and you know, the oldies out here in the chat are like, oh my goodness, there's no way this guy can't hit above 220 in like the 60 games that he's played. But again, his career average of 310 in the minor leagues with a 377 OBP, certainly that'll go down a little bit in the majors, but I also think he's a much better hitter than 220. Now, I know that the comparisons were made quite a bit when Mitch Haniger came over to the Mariners to Dominic Canzone, but here we are, we're going to make them again here. Of course, both guys came over from the Arizona Diamondbacks, a bit on the older side, but guys who had really raked in the minor leagues and then came up to the major leagues with the Mariners. In the minors, Mitch, in 489 games, was a 286, 371, 491 hitter with 69 nice home runs and 288 RBI in those 2005 plate appearances. He came over to the Mariners, made his debut with them at age 26, and in 410 plate appearances, he put together a 282, 352, 491 season with 16 home runs and 47 RBI in 96 games. Now again, this was the next season, whereas for Dom Canzone, obviously he came over still in his rookie season with the Diamondbacks in 2016. In his rookie season, Mitch in 34 games hit 229, 309, 404 with 5 home runs and 17 RBI. That's not all that much different from our friend Dom Canzone. Listen, I'm not saying that Dom Canzone's going to go out there and have a 39 home run season with 100 RBI like Mitch did in 2021, I think it was. What I'm saying is that there's a lot more potential with this guy than people are giving him credit for. They're talking about this outfield like it's set with Luke Raley in left, Mitch in right, and Julio in center. But Dom Canzone, I think, should be playing at least 4 times a week. I think you need to find a way to get him in the lineup until he proves that you just can't keep him there. And as of right now, with the way this lineup is constructed, I think that you need his bat in there nearly every single day because he has that kind of potential. Now, as for how Canzone gets those at-bats, I'm not really sure. It could be a multitude of different ways, whether that be a platoon with Mitch Haniger out there in right field. Maybe he gives Mitch Garver a day off every now and again at DH. And again, he can go and play any position. If you need to give Julio a day, for example, you can move Luke Raley over to center field and put Dom Canzone out there in left, Dom Canzone in right for Mitch some days. And if you really, really want to, although I doubt it'll ever happen, throw Dom Canzone over at first base just to give it a whirl. Let's say Ty France is hurting a little bit. Or again, Luke Raley can play first base and then Dom Canzone can go play left field. There's just so many different options with the way this roster is constructed right now of ways to get these guys at bats. I'm not saying that Dominic Canzone needs to be the starter out of spring training unless he really, really shows out in spring training. I'm just saying that Dominic Canzone deserves a chance at playing nearly every single day, at least in spring training, and then let's see what he's got in the regular season. He's just another guy on this team that works as a really good backup plan in case something does go wrong, like with Mitch Haniger or Luke Raley. And there's another guy that we've been talking about that could be a backup plan as well, and we have that video on the screen now. I want you guys to check that one out. I appreciate you guys watching this one, and go Mariners.